Hello and welcome to another episode of Story to Satori. And today I have a wonderful friend and guest of mine. She's Falguni Katira from California in US. And I want to introduce her as a person who builds bridges and not walls. And that's on her LinkedIn page. And that's how I just want to start with that positive note because she keeps spreading positivity all around her. And to give a bit of more formal introduction, she is actually the multi-channel marketing vice president in Bank of the West in US, and she is also a team builder. In fact, she has so many qualifications. Probably as we start talking, I would ask a few questions around that. So, welcome to Story to Satori.
Thank you, Jahnavi.
Falguni.
It's a pleasure
Yeah.
being here.
Yeah, so nice to see you. After a long time, we were having discussions of you, and it was, I think, more than a year ago. And then you came to India, and I went to US, and so we are at kind of
Yeah,
moving from one, and now we are stuck with this coronavirus. And so,
I
tell
know.
me, Falguni, how are you finding this, as you say, the new way of life? What is exactly happening in your world there?
So, things, first of all, thank you very much. I'm glad that we are finally able to make this happen. Like we have been wanting to talk
Yes.
for a long time. So, happy that
Mm,
it's happening. The
yes.
new way of life, it's interesting. We are in interesting times right now, right? It's just
Mm,
that we are not able to step out as much, but we are able to actually reach out even more. And there is a big difference in both of those things, right? We weren't
mm,
able to reach out as much as we are able to now, just because we
yes.
have the time that we need, we have the mental
Mm,
peace, we have been looking at things in a way that has been very reflective. We are really
mm,
revisiting the actions that we have been doing mindlessly, if you will, for a very long time. So I do think this is a beautiful reset, and we are
mm,
revisiting some of our actions. So I
yes.
think that has changed for me. The mindset has changed, the approach towards
Mm,
life, the meaning itself of relationships, of distance, of freedom. All of those things have dramatically changed, just because
mm,
suddenly when it's all taken away is when you realize what it meant. It's truly like that. So
yes.
and it's the same all over the world. So I always keep on saying we are in this together. It couldn't be a
Mm,
more truer statement, because we truly are, all of us across the world.
mm,
Humanity at large is in a similar situation, right? So I do
yes.
think collective consciousness, this collective energy of wanting to still be together, because man is a social animal. We really are
Yes.
going to need to be with people, right? So
Mm,
we are creatively finding out ways, thank you to technology, that we are able to do that easily.
yes.
We are able to do that. So I think it's a beautiful time if we take it as such. It is
Mm,
stressful time if we take it as such. So it depends on us
right.
how we want to take it. But I am fully focused on the positives, because that's really what I want to.
Mm,
It's a choice we make every single step. What do we want to focus on? And that's why,
yes.
focus. I always remember, what do we want to focus on, because that's what will grow. So.
Yes, absolutely. As I mean, 100% agree with what you said. It's what you put your energy in is what you, in fact, it's like an energy, right? The vibes are all energy. And you very rightly, you keep increasing this. Even before this, you were always making those videos where you speak about the positive strengths that people have, and you've been enhancing that. So tell me, now that you spoke of this and it has brought us together more closer because of technology, because of the need of the hour, and we all are in it together in a way because we are connected in a very, it's like a small village now, and we are all affected by that, the severity of the situation. At the same time, if you see, everybody is doing something creative, people dancing, singing, and then people are giving the free courses, healing. So going forward, in your workplace, so do you see that coming from the field of marketing, and then you are heading that marketing division in the bank, and then what kind of a situation the general public, has? over there, and then, all over the place. Well, are you also seeing that everywhere, or it's just your personal vision? Of course, your personal vision is, of course, very positive, but then how do we change this? I mean, not everybody is feeling. You see some quarters. Generally, if you see people yet, yeah, they are, still having a kind of positivity around, because we have, for the first time in years, we have got this kind of a time with our relationships with our family, and with especially the young ones, young kids. So, but then, continuing like this, and going forward, what do you see?
See, I think when we have hit a refresh button, we have to
Mm,
genuinely refresh
mm,
and look at things in a different way, right? So I do
mm,
believe that, it is going to be very individual in the way we are going to look at things, in the way we are,
mm,
going to have our mindset. But I do
mm,
believe that there is a collective consciousness that works at um, especially at workplaces, right? Because there are the
mm,
factors that drive the culture, that drive that, the approach that we are going to take for our customers. Well, especially in marketing, we keep on talking about our customers all day, because they are whom
yes.
we really want to target and we really want to appease, right? Because if we
Mm,
are not able to communicate with them, it's
yes.
point lost, right? So we really
Mm,
want to definitely keep a nerve like test on, what is happening out there, and also
mm,
try to infuse a little bit of positivity and hope, because we as
mm,
marketers are able to do that, luckily, which I think is a
mm,
big blessing, because if we
mm,
are able to infuse hope, and if we are able to
mm,
infuse positivity through our messages, and by, we are here, we are solution engineers, we really,
mm,
provide solutions to our customers. So for that,
right.
we firstly we want to acknowledge that yes, there is a problem, but yes, we
Mm,
are all together and we will solve this. It's just when
yes.
somebody says that we are together itself, kind of helps you relieve that, okay, I'm not
Mm,
alone, which I think is the biggest fear right now when many of us are isolated, right? So I
yes.
think
Yes.
it's very important for us to know that we are all together. It is not,
Mm,
and also to ensure and reinforce even at the workplace. Like
mm,
my leader is extremely a humanistic person who
mm,
values positivity, who values the approach that will bring out the best in people, right?
mm,
If you are in a
mm,
fear-ridden environment, you are going to only multiply fear. But if you are in a
mm.
positive environment, you're going to multiply creativity, positivity, and that's really what you need. So
Yes. Yes.
I think it is very, very dependent on the surrounding that we are in. People always say
Yes.
surround yourself with people that inspire you. It's going to be so much more
Yes.
now, because
Yes.
so much fear out there that you just don't want to cling on to the negative, which will be easy to do, by the way, right? Because it's
Yes.
obvious,
Yes.
right? And we
Yes.
normalize fear, and we normalize all this stress a lot.
Oh, yes.
Generally, it's
Yes.
normal to be stressful. It's not normal.
Yeah.
Let's normal to
Mm,
be positive. Let's do that. You know what I mean?
mm,
So,
yes.
it's a shift in the mindset.
Yes, absolutely. But having said that, Falguni, I mean, yet, there are people, and then there are, I would say, in the social media, we are seeing people sharing so much of, they're helping out with all kinds of healing, and then they are helping with, especially I'm also doing, along with another Reiki master, I'm trying to give some free sessions in Reiki, and I see so many others are doing, so many others, countless others. But there is a fear, as you said, though it's all personal, right? I mean, we are collectively, we have one consciousness, but then it just kinds of, it depends on each person's upbringing, and then their own personal experiences, how they have come so far and how they're going to go further. Because that was the one thing I wanted to discuss, because we are in this situation now, so I wanted to know, how did the journey start for you? Because as you said, you were all the time doubting yourself, when your grandmother used to keep telling you
Oh, yeah.
and reinforcing that statement that you build bridges, and then I want to start from there, and not walls, because walls are something like isolation now that we are in the four walls now in the house, and you are building bridges. So are you also building bridges right now, isolated inside the walls? What are you doing there? Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
for the and it's a
Yeah.
beautiful memory from my grandmother that I hold so
Yes.
so dear. And, it is something that has helped me become, shaped me who I am because of
Mm.
her teachings, and because of how she actually in action proved it to me that it is only about what we are focusing on, what we keep telling ourselves. The inner dialogue is really important, because
Mm.
ultimately whatever other people are going to say is going to be their perception, but what
Mm.
you are going to think is what is going to be your truth, right? So
Mm.
you have to really know and have that inner dialogue set up. If that is appropriate, if that is all there, then you
Mm.
can out some of the noise, because not everybody is going to say what you are going to like, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
important, but still keep your equilibrium. It's important to keep your peace, and
Yes.
that can happen with the dialogue you have with yourself. So
Mm.
that's about a little bit about how my what my grandmother's approach was.
Yeah.
um, and right now, the way we are building bridges is by, of course, everybody is connecting, everybody is doing work, collaborating in a different way at
Mm.
work, even in
Mm.
person. Social relationships, we are all having Zoom calls right, left, and center. We are all
Okay.
doing that, right? but
Mm.
but the point is that how are we able to bridge the gap? It's not
Mm.
about just giving a call, but it's about actually tapping into what is it that is concerning to you. How can I
Mm.
help you? How can I be there for you? Right?
Yes.
So we are
Yes.
having those kind of meaty conversations where we get to what
Mm.
is it that you're tackling. If we are all happy, chilling, it's that's one mood, that's one zone. But
Yeah.
if there are people that are I have reached out to my friends who you instinctively know if they
Mm-hmm.
are going to be really it's very intuitive, right? If some are going to be,
Yes.
some are going to be worried, and we just reach out to everybody in general right now. But still, I'm
Yes.
able to give time, and intentionally so, to
Mm.
friends that I know are going to be a little bit worried. I spend a lot of time with kids,
Mm.
telling them about what it is, because it's all new for them. And
Yes.
I have two little kids who have just started to go to school and stuff, so for them to suddenly now be inside, and they're
Mm.
very active, they want to be with their friends. We have
Yeah.
neighbors across the street whom they are not meeting, so it's a lot of explanation to give to them,
Mm.
where they understand, and they understand the impact of it without getting afraid, which is a
Mm.
big deal as a parent.
Mm.
You really want to let them know that it's okay. And it's
Yes.
also being mindful about when we are watching the news in front of them, what are we seeing,
Mm.
because we see a lot of things that might not be
Yes.
for the kids
Yes.
to know, because they can interpret it wrongly, and then it's a
Right.
responsibility, right? So doing those kind of things and getting into true conversations
Mm.
about how exactly you are. It's not a formal question of how are you and I'm fine. It's not about that.
Yes.
It is about
Yes.
getting into and seeing how we can help each other there, because we are
Yes.
all again under the same fear blanket. So
Mm.
are you doing okay? Are you keeping warm? We are here, like we are all,
Mm-hmm.
this is what will happen, this is what can happen, this is
Mm.
also what can happen, like giving those possibilities out. It's very easy to say, oh my god, it's so fearful, maybe one
Mm.
day we'll get it, we may die. It's all
Mm.
negative, but it's also going to be positive that we may get it and we may still be okay. Like if there is
Mm.
a, why do we need to cancel that out? Let's see,
Yeah.
if we have to, my whole idea is, if we have to think anything, let's think
Mm.
positive.
Mm.
Right now when I'm saying, oh my god, it's so fearful, maybe everybody will get it here, if we are
Mm.
saying that, it's also a positive. I'm just giving a um, option out there, a possibility. It is
Mm.
not a confirmation, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
possibility that the bad may happen, but it's
Mm.
also an equal possibility that the good may happen. So
Yes.
let's
Yes.
focus on that. So
Right.
instead of just normalizing fear, normalizing stress, let's
Right.
focus on the positive and normalize that. That's all my drive is, because
Yes.
I can't be hopeless. I just
Mm.
cannot. That's not just who I am
That's
at all.
not in your nature. Yeah.
It's not. I cannot even
Yeah.
relate to. I can't even. Yeah, I cannot relate to that. So
Yes.
for
Yes.
me, it is important to be hopeful, because worst is not worst enough. Like
Mm.
that's what I keep telling. So of course, my full empathy, I am an empath,
Mm.
so I totally
Mm.
understand the stress, the problems that people are going through. I'm not diffusing any of that. It is true for
Mm-hmm.
people who are going through that, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But until and unless it comes to you, please
Mm.
try to exude positivity so that others who need it will get it. You know what I mean? It's all
Mm,
energy
mm.
at the end of the day. Why?
Yes.
Of course, when it will come to us, we will have to go through it. And, if we have shielded ourselves with that mindset, we will
Mm,
still be able to go through it and,
mm.
and win, right?
Yes,
Because the
yes.
point is to win. Fear works, is bad for our immunity,
Mm,
right? And positivity is
yes.
thing. So let's just do, because mentally, if we are physically, we keep on eating oranges and lemons as much as we want to boost
Yeah,
our, it
absolutely.
will
Yeah.
work out. But if our mindset is
It
fear
has to
ridden,
be.
it
Yes.
is, yeah, it's not going to work out, right? So I
Yes.
think that it is important to be healthy inside out. And
Yes.
that's very important, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I am
Yeah.
doing.
No, I mean, I totally agree with you, Falguni, because when you say that, our first thing is to ask really as to touch them in the right spot and ask them what they need, what area they need help in. Otherwise, it just becomes a kind of wishy-washy, and then you just keep talking and spending time. This is a time when you can really make a difference with people's lives,
Absolutely.
because people are really going through. Not everybody has the strength to bear these things, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they can't even express that we are going through
Right,
these things.
right,
And
right,
I think what you are saying makes a lot of sense now, that we can actually have those conversations and find out from people what they're really going through, and then how we can be of help to them. And
right.
it's not just a conversation, it has to be a meaningful conversation. There has
Absolutely.
to be more. And being even I am like that. I cannot see a hopelessness in any situation. Always bounce back. But then that kind of a quality maybe people don't have around us, and we need to also
Sure.
take care as to how we can resonate with their feelings and understand their problems, what they're going through, and
Sure.
balance out those energies as well.
Right.
So what is it that people can do? What do you think people can do in these situations? I mean, you have your own way of, dealing. You're helping people. You are a team player. I saw a lot of these testimonials, and everybody was,
Thank
kind of appreciating the way you have. You coach people. You just not coach, but also they have talked about how you have lifted their spirits, make them see the strengths in themselves, and we just take many times our own strengths, we take them for granted.
Right.
And it takes a long time for us to realize, and we all need a coach, in fact, so that the coach mirrors your strengths back to you, and that's what you have done. So can you just tell some examples where how coaching can help in these situations? Maybe small laser sessions, may not be a full length 30 minutes or 60 minutes like a typical session. Maybe coaches can, we as coaches can help, maybe a group coaching or something like that, because
Right.
a lot of people are going through a lot of thing. And I am seeing a lot of social media, people are spending whiling away their time doing funny things, but finally you have to get to the brass tacks and find out what's there in it for us now. So how
Right.
can, either as a coach or either as a healer, or as you are saying, your marketer, so what, even a marketer can help you out of your situation. And I was reading one of your posts today, where you have mentioned, like fish out of water, when we don't have to just be a path breaker, we can be a path, finder. So can, so
Yeah.
these are just, gives us insights, and so throw some light and some final takeaways for the viewers and people who are watching this show.
Absolutely. All
Mm,
fantastic things, Janvi. And thank you so much for going through some of my work. I appreciate that a lot.
yeah, I love
Uh,
that. Love what
yeah.
you do. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's
Mm,
it's a really journaling at large for me.
mm,
That is what I do with social media, which is why I think it
okay.
resonates a lot
Mm,
with people. It's only because it just comes directly from the heart, and it's just being ourselves fully.
mm, mm,
So yeah, thank you. But yeah, so the way I look at coaches is that
mm,
coaches are friends.
mm,
Coaches could be guide.
mm,
Coaches could be teachers.
mm,
They could be there. They could be the strict teachers that somebody needs, to put them back into action, to
mm.
jolt them in a way which gives them a redirection in life, in a way, if somebody
Right.
needs. So depending on what stage a person is,
Mm.
that is why most of the coaches you'll see will have breakthrough calls, will have discovery calls,
Yeah.
because we really need to understand, that
Mm.
when a person is, how can I take my approach has always been for coaching, how can I take a person from point A to point B? And
Mm.
what is their point A right now is for me to decide in conversations with them. But I
Mm.
want them to tell me what is their point B,
Yeah,
where is it they
absolutely.
want to go, right?
Yeah.
Then we are going to have a journey. We are going to be on a
Mm. Mm.
journey to get there.
Mm.
It could be for somebody, it could be a power hour and they will be all there,
Mm.
depending on how ripe or what situation they are in, how
Mm.
mentally ready and involved they are. It takes
Mm.
a while. Everybody is
Yes.
a different zone, right? So we
Mm.
can definitely work with people that are at all these different stages and
Mm.
under I love the part I love about being a coach and why I think it comes naturally to me
Mm.
is because I am a connector. I
Mm.
am able to, bring out the micro vision, the micro
Mm.
understanding
Mm.
into, the macro understanding into micro steps.
Micro
So
steps.
I'm
Yeah.
able to,
Mm.
really, give them what they need to do. So I have a macro understanding of where they could be and what all the possibilities are. Out
Mm.
of that, if they choose a particular point B, I know how to micro drive them there, right?
Mm. Mm.
So I think it is really wonderful
Mm.
to have somebody like that who
Mm.
is walking the walk with you. I think it
Yes.
really makes a lot of difference. We sometimes just cannot do it alone,
Yeah.
and I think okay, we all need coaches. Even coaches need coaches, which is which
Yeah,
is
absolutely. Agree.
self-explanatory, right? It
Yes.
just says that we really need somebody. It's going to be that friend of ours is going to walk us through,
Mm.
and help us out. So I do think that that is a very important role we play. I think it
Mm.
fits very well with the marketing world I live in as well, because that
Yeah.
I think is the reason why I'm able to even why I love marketing so much is also because we are the bridge again between the
Mm.
customers and giving them the product,
Yes.
the solutions that they need. So
Yeah.
it's all about building a bridge. It's all about
Mm.
doing that, right? Because even as coaches, we are trying to help them build a bridge from where they are to where they want to be. And
Yes.
similarly in marketing, we're building a bridge from what our customers' problems are to the
Mm.
solutions that we can provide them and how.
Yes. Yes.
So we are in this process of communication. We are in this
Mm.
process of human to human connection in a way, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
all of these things are so critical that none of this can be ignored, pandemic or not, or social
Mm. Mm.
distancing or not. We still
Yeah.
have to, right? We are still reaching out to people in different ways. I think it's
Mm.
brought a lot of creativity to this period, and I really
Yes.
love about this time, right? Because
Yeah.
people are thinking so creatively and doing all of this. Even the
Mm.
memes are there for fun. If you watch, it's so creative, right?
Yes.
People are
Yes.
thinking about, and it's all their way of infusing positivity, right? So I
Yes.
think it is important for us to be mindful. It's definitely important for us to reach out, like it's
Mm-hmm.
really, we have to reach out to people who you think can help you. Just
Mm.
go out. If we
Mm.
bottle things within us, this perhaps might not be a good idea,
Yeah.
especially at this time. So I
Yes.
do think it is important for people to reach out to the appropriate person that they vibe with, that they can share with,
Mm.
and that they can work with, right? It could be a friend, it could be a
Yeah.
coach, like whoever, right? So we should definitely do that. And then also I think it is also important for us to develop empathy for people that are not perhaps understanding or looking at life the way we are. you know
Mm.
you don't want to come across as fake or superficial to people that are not able to relate to your positivity at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to kind of build from ground up. Then you need to
Mm.
get down and explain to them why
Mm.
is it that you have the approach, for them to be relatable, for them to actually work through things. I have
Yes.
spent a lot of time talking to the older people in my family, my friends' parents, and so on, right? So I've
Yeah.
done that because they are all the more fearful, because we say
Mm.
that, oh, it's bad for the older people, they need to be extra careful and this and that. I
Yeah.
think they are not able to voice it because they are older. They don't want to come across and say, oh, I'm afraid, right?
Mm.
But we can
Mm.
sense that everybody can
Yeah.
go through that, right? So I think it is important for us to be emotionally intelligent. It's important for us to be there and
Mm.
actually be there in a meaningful way, right?
Yes. Yes.
Not just superficially, but actually be there for somebody. It's as
Yes.
good as I have done this a lot actually. send out notes that are meaningful, that I am there for you, feel free to reach
Okay.
out, you're doing great, to friends far and wide, right? Because it is important for them to know. It's a beautiful thing,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
for yeah. So initially we start, my son, they make cards and they
Oh,
give out.
physically you're doing and sending it. That's such
Yeah,
an awesome thing that you're
those,
doing. Yeah.
because they loved it.
Yeah.
They said, what can we
Yes.
do? So I said, this
Yeah.
is what we can do. So they really are small little things. You'll see it, and I perhaps put it on a post
Yeah.
as well someday.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
yeah, if they are
Mm-hmm.
interested in doing those kind of things, it doesn't matter how much big or small things you do. It
Mm.
matters how you do it. It's just the
Yeah.
how you feel and what you do, right? So I think it
Absolutely. Yeah.
really makes a lot of impact.
Yes, yes, absolutely. These small little things, and we had these conversations, I think, just a day before, and when
Right.
you actually commented on my post, and I also saw your post where you were talking about, just don't do it mindlessly, but think,
Right.
think before you take those small steps,
Mm-hmm.
because these are the times, we have actually creativity has become a kind of a buzzword now because of the time, the space that we have, and then we can hear the birds chirping, which was never there, in our lives. And the first time we have the real a sense to live life without any kind of a thought of tomorrow. I mean, in that sense, we are worried, but then we have nothing. We don't even have to worry because there's so much to worry that where do you start worrying? It's like either
And
you
all
have a choice to
these
make,
are,
yeah, you have
all
a choice.
possibilities are open, right?
Yeah, exactly. As you
So
rightly said in the beginning, you have a choice whether you're going to sit and worry for the next day because anyway we are in the lockdown. At least here in India, we are sitting at home. We can't go out. So you have a day the way you want it. You figure out how you're going to spend it creatively, doing things, helping out people, reaching out to people. And we had such wonderful wisdom nuggets from you, Falguni. And really, I tell you, a lot of things that you spoke of, especially, how we can reach out to people and how we can empathize with them at this point of time because they themselves are not able to figure out and they are in low energy. And then probably, as you said, it doesn't mean only eating food. It also is about how you
right.
enhance your positive thinking, positive words and language. So we can go on and on, Falguni, but then we have the time crunch. And so I really want you to end this conversation with at least a one thing message that you want to give our viewers and people who are seeing from all across the globe because yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
no, thank
yeah.
you for this opportunity. Thank you a lot, Janvi. I know we have been, working and sharing similar sort of messages. That is why I can relate to you totally, and
Yes.
I appreciate this conversation. My final thoughts would be that always remember that the choice is yours. I might be repeating, but it is worth repeating. The
Mm,
choice is ours. We are powerful. We have the choices. We are limiting ourselves and
mm,
not believing in the possibilities and the power that we have. So
yes.
just kind of focusing your attention on the possibilities and
Yes.
on the impermanence of the situation. This
Mm,
situation is not going to be the same forever. It cannot be. Right?
yes. Yes.
So let's just think about not the problem, but now the solution, right?
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
identified the problem well enough. Now I think it's time to identify the solution.
Solution.
Focus on that and really do what we can to build
Yeah.
our life from there.
Yeah, and we are not going to be the same again. This has left us it's
I was
given us a
telling,
lesson to learn,
yeah,
and at least
it was,
personally, I feel I'm going to be very mindful now at every moment. Kind of savoring
yeah,
all these things that
it
have.
would be a shame
Yeah.
if we stay the same. We just
Yes.
can, we should not. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
take these lessons. We have to really understand. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure people are going to look at freedom differently now, for sure. Like,
Mm,
because
yeah.
it is just the first step we take out of the house without any worry.
Yeah.
Going to be really path breaking. Like, it'll really make us feel, where are we headed? Where
Mm,
am I going? That first step, at least I
yeah.
know for me, it is definitely going to be such where I want
Yeah.
to be very conscious every step we take as to where are we headed, right?
Mm,
So I
mm.
think it's going to be beautiful. It is.
Yes, it is. It is definitely. Lot of spiritual awakenings I'm seeing here.
Uh,
and a lot of learning, lot of growth. So these are the things, and so hopefully we'll catch up again in some other conversation. Thank you so much for being on my show,
Thank
and have a great day. So
thank
it's
you.
night for us. Thank you very much. Thank
Thank you,
you.
dear. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.